topic we have for today is logo design and branding basics. I was meant to do this with my colleague, Ibiari, but he's not feeling too good, so he's not able to make it today. But we're going to be focusing on the psychology behind effective branding and to help design logos that will resonate with your audience. Sorry. So for the agenda for today, we are going to be talking about a short intro to brand identity because our last workshop last month, we did something on branding strategy. So I'm sure some of you know more about that. Also, we're going to go into the psychology of color, the psychology of shapes, choosing the right font, brand archetypes, if you've heard about it. We'll briefly talk about them. And then finally, 6 brand psychology and persuasion principles. And if we have time, we can do a short exercise where we are putting our practice to test. All right, so what is brand identity? So brand identity is pretty much your business's personality. It's how you want people to see you, talking about the way your brand looks, the feel, and the voice. In simple terms, when we say a business look, we mean your logo, the colors, the font, everything that has to do with the visual aspect of your brand. When we talk about feel, it's the overall impression you want to give others. Are you modern, edgy, traditional, or timeless? And finally, for the voice, it's the way you talk to your customers, really important. It's either if you want to be seen as friendly or casual or formal and professional. For Oze, I would say that we like to do friendly and professional at the same time. A strong brand identity will definitely help people recognize your business and help them remember you. So if you want to stand out from your competitors, it's really important that you set a strong brand identity. So why small businesses need a strong logo? I know a lot of people that are small businesses, they have their logo, but they probably just go and meet maybe someone who claims to be a graphic designer. I'm not saying that there are not good ones there, but then the person will just do some flimsy logo for them and then they'll start using that for their marketing. And why we want to advocate and push that businesses get a strong logo is that when you start your brand, you want everything to be solid so that people will remember your logo wherever they see it. So one of the reasons is that first impressions matter. Your logo is often the first thing customers see, and it sets a tone for your business. If you go to a supermarket and you're looking at the products on the shelves and you can tell which one is a foreign product because maybe, excuse me to say, but when we talk about Ghana and we're comparing to the other markets, they are more focused and they are more serious when it comes to their branding. So sometimes you can tell if this product was made locally or if it was made internationally. But yeah, there are some products that are breaking those barriers and are also creating professional packaging. A professional, well-designed logo can make a positive first impression, showing that your business is credible and trustworthy. Another reason is instant recognition. We have a lot of saturated markets, so a unique logo will help your business stand out from competitors, and it will also provide a visual cue that your customers can easily identify with your brand. And finally, memorability. Logos make your brand easier to remember. A consistent, distinctive logo can help your customers recall your business more readily, even at just a quick glance. So I'd like us to continue to talk about what makes a logo effective. Please, if you have a question, please put it in the chat box and then we'll get to it. So what makes a logo effective? An effective logo has a basic number of things. Less is more. So if we look at Nike, Apple, Adidas, they have very simple logos. I believe there's a brand that we've worked with before and they sent us their logo and it was very busy. And sometimes you don't want to distract maybe your customers. When they see a logo, you want them to be able to identify, oh, this is me. So when you have a very busy logo, it's very hard for people to retain, okay, I know this logo, So when you have less on your logo, it's much more preferred, it's way better. A logo needs to be relevant. It needs to reflect your brand values, your mission, and your target audience. So you can't have a logo that has maybe a basketball and then maybe you sell bread, So you need to make sure that it aligns with maybe even your market, what people associate with maybe basic shapes and basic designs. So it needs to reflect and be relevant as well in the industry. Another thing that makes a logo effective is memorability, which we spoke about. It should be unique enough to leave a lasting impression on your viewers. It needs to be timeless. You need to design it to endure over time without becoming outdated. So you don't just design a logo based on, okay, that's the trend right now, but design a logo that would be timeless. And finally, versatility, which is to adapt to colors, formats, and media without losing impact. And it needs to work across all platforms, which is business cards, websites, and the likes. For versatility, I would say that I have experienced this issue before, especially with other brands or businesses. When you ask them, they want you to do a design for them and they send you their logo. And let's say, for instance, the color that's, or let me not even use that. Let me use, let's say there's a trade show and you are one of the, I'm not even a sponsor, but let's say one of the traders or businesses that are going to showcase your products and services, and they ask you for your logo. And let's say the poster is going to be color blue, right? And let's say your logo is purple. So when you send this logo to them and they are doing the editing and trying to put your logo on there, and your logo is there with a bunch of other logos, it's going to be very difficult to even see your logo because you do not have different color formats of your logo. So if you just have one format, it really restricts you, especially when you want to share your logo with other partners as well. So if you can see, we have a couple of logos on there. We have Honeybee Premium. I don't know why it came up that way. I believe it's the PowerPoint. Apologies. But we have FedEx, Color Studio. As you can see, these logos are bold. They are simple. They are popular brands here, Pepsi, Apple, and Nike as well. So we're going to move to the psychology of color in design. So now I'm going to need a bit more interaction with you guys. We're going to start off with the color blue. So I don't know if someone can unmute themselves, but when you look at the color blue, what kind of emotion or what kind of feeling do you get when you see blue? Anyone in the audience?
I feel cool.
Cool. Okay, cool is great. What does anybody have another suggestion?
P.
The sea, yes, nice. The sea. So as you can see, like colors are very strong because they do evoke emotions out of people. So for blue, usually it kind of evokes the emotions of trust, stability, professionalism. Everything everyone said, cool, that's also very true. It's often used in corporate and tech brands, not saying that people that are not in corporate and tech brands can't use it. They can, but when you see blue, you probably think maybe this is like Oze. We use blue. A lot of corporate companies tend to like to use blue. We have Facebook as well. So green, I don't know if we have any more volunteers. Could someone to tell me when they see green, what emotion does it evoke for you?
Nature.
Sorry?
He said nature.
Nature. Okay. So exactly, green, it definitely evokes nature. So there's health, growth, nature, as you said it, and it's also great for eco-friendly and wellness brands. So these are some examples: Land Rover, Starbucks, Whole Foods. These are popular brands that tend to use green even in their logos. Then we have red. Anybody want to suggest an emotion they get when they see red?
Red is a warm color.
It's a warm color, nice. Anyone else?
Danger.
Danger. Exactly. When you see red, you see danger. But red is a very powerful color. It stands out really strong. So for red, it means energy, passion, urgency, danger, as you said. It's definitely a warm color. It's frequently used in food retail for its attention-grabbing quality. So examples of brands like these are Coca-Cola, YouTube, and then we also have ShopRite that has red and yellow. So if you want your logo to be attention grabbing and you're probably within this industry, you can definitely use red in your logo. Okay, so this is the last one I'm going to ask, and I'll go through on the rest. But if anybody can tell me what emotion they get when they see yellow.
Warning.
Sorry?
Warning.
Warning. Okay, yes, definitely warning sign. Anyone else? Okay, let me just continue. So for yellow, optimism, warm, happiness. I don't know if you've seen adverts where maybe the star character. Sorry, can you please mute Issa's mic for me? Thank you. The star character is wearing a yellow dress because you want to show, oh, I'm happy. The sun is out, everything is bright. So yellow is a color that appeals to youthful, approachable brand identities. So McDonald's, these are popular brands, they're not in Ghana, but yeah, McDonald's, IKEA, Best Buy. Then we have purple. So purple is a luxury color. It also evokes creativity, sophistication. It's often linked to beauty brands or high-end products. So we have Cadbury, Yahoo. When I saw Yahoo here, I was like, I was quite surprised that they had said bad, because Yahoo used to be the in thing, but now I don't know if we still have Yahoo email addresses, but yeah. Then there's orange. So orange is enthusiasm, creativity, friendliness. Popular with brands, targeting energetic or a fun audience. There's Amazon, if you think about Fanta, Nickelodeon. Nickelodeon is a kids channel that they have. Then there's white. White evokes purity, simplicity, cleanliness. It's also very common in healthcare, tech companies, and then it's also evokes minimalistic branding. So we have examples like Apple or Tesla. And finally, black, one of my favorite colors. Power, elegance, sophistication, and it's ideal for luxury and professional brands. So we have examples Nike, Chanel, and Sony. And then finally, we have the color brown. So brown, we could say brown evokes stability, warmth, reliability, and it's used by brands wanting a natural, grounded appeal. So we have UPS, M&M's, and then Hershey's. Hershey's is chocolate, M&M's is chocolate. UPS, I'm sure you're familiar, it's a delivery service. So brown kind of evokes reliability. I'm a reliable service you can use. And then there's pink. So if you see pink, everybody thinks about girly, compassion, warmth, and playfulness. It's common with brands aimed at youthful or female demographics. So examples are Barbie, Victoria's Secret as well. Then there's gray, which is neutrality and balance, professionalism. It's often used to support other colors and add sophistication. So when you see Apple uses gray as their secondary color. And then there's Honda, there's Mercedes-Benz. So now let's move on to the psychology of shapes in logo design. So with circles represent unity, harmony, and inclusiveness. So for small businesses, they can convey a friendly community focused on identity and ideal for emphasizing relationships or customer-centric values. So if you look at the bottom of my screen on the far right, or I don't know if it's left for your side, but you see, Oze, we have our circle right there, because when we're trying to create the brand, we wanted people to understand that we are focused on unity and we really take our customers seriously and we are community-based. So another is triangles. So triangles denote energy, innovation, and progress. With their dynamic points, they suggest movement and growth. So it's making them ideal for brands in tech or creative industries aiming to convey forward thinking and innovation. Then we have rectangles and shapes which signal stability, reliability, and order. So they're often seen as solid and trustworthy. They're effective for brands focused on professionalism, like financial or consulting services. Another shape is organic shapes. These are irregular shapes, natural shapes. I don't know if you've seen brands with those types of shape. So they create a sense of creativity and authenticity. They are different. They appeal to brands that emphasize natural, eco-friendly, or artisanal qualities. These shapes foster a relaxed and approachable brand personality. Then we have lines. Lines, we have horizontal, vertical, and diagonal. For horizontal lines, it's stability, calmness, tranquility. Vertical is strength, confidence, formality, and diagonal is movement and dynamism, which is adding energy to logos to convey a sense of direction. And for our last shape, we have abstract and unique shapes. Many logos love using abstracts and customized shapes. It allows them to convey specific complex ideas that they can't really do with just the simple shapes. And custom shapes are ideal for brands aiming to create something instantly recognizable and highly unique, sorry. So if you look at our logo, let me move this. You can see we have a circle, and we also have an abstract shape. You see the circle has these weird squiggly lines in there. So Oze has the abstract designs in their logo. What we do at Oze is pretty complex in a sense where we work with numbers and data. So obviously to exhibit that, we have the circle with the abstract shape. Now going on to choosing the right font. So I don't know if you've seen some fonts for some logos that if you see, you might be misled what the brand does. So that's why it's really important to pick the right font when you're choosing or you're designing your logo. So first is to understand the font categories. There are different types of fonts. This can be an extensive topic to discuss, but at least I'm just trying to get the basics for you so that you can move with this. There are serif fonts, and these fonts have small lines at the end of each letter. They convey tradition, reliability, and professionalism. Everybody's familiar with the popular Times New Roman and Georgia. So if you look at the far bottom of the slide, you will see that this is the font for Times New Roman and Georgia. Then we have sans serif fonts. So these fonts do not have serifs, which are small lines, and they often appear on more of a modern and clean logo. They are great for friendly and an approachable feel. So we have Arial and Helvet. Sometimes I can't pronounce these font names, but Helvetica. Yes, I'm not sure if Apple uses this font, but yes. So if you look at the far bottom, this is what the font looks like. And then we have script fonts. These fonts are more of the handwriting, calligraphy fonts. So they kind of add a personal touch that I took a pen and decided to draw my own logo. They can be elegant and artistic, but they are less readable at small sizes. So for instance, we have brush script and Pacifico. And finally, we have display fonts. These are the creative fonts designed for headlines and titles. They can be fun and eye-catching, but they have to be used sparingly. So we have Beba's New and Lobster. So when you're considering a font or you want to choose the right font, you need to consider the color and the contrast. Choosing a font that contrasts well with your background. This is to ensure that your logo stands out. So for instance, let's say I have a logo and the color of my logo is, let's say, red. And the background is like orange. It's going to be very tough for people to see your logo because these colors are pretty similar. So what I'll suggest is to get maybe if it's orange, the background will be white. If it's red, we can use red and yellow because yellow is like lighter than red. Okay. Another thing is to avoid trends. Think long term. When you're choosing a font, choose one that will remain relevant over time. Trendy fonts, they're interesting. It's just for a season. It can become outdated. So to make your logo look less professional in the future. And then one thing is definitely to get feedback. Ask for opinions. You have friends, you have family. Ask them, what do you think about these fonts? These types? And from there, you'll be able to make an informed decision. And then finally, use professional tools. Please, please. This is your logo. This is your brand. I would definitely say, I know there are apps online that can help you create a quick logo, but you need to invest in a proper logo because this is something you want to carry out throughout your whole business. You want people to start being familiar with the brand. So consider using a professional design tools or hiring a graphic designer to help you create your logo with the right fonts. The reason why we're going through this presentation, I know no one here is maybe you have somebody as a graphic designer, but not a lot of us are. So this is just to guide you so that when you go to a graphic designer, you know what type of colors you want to play around with. And you're not saying, no, just do something for me. There are graphic designers that can give you like suggestions on what you want based on, okay, your industry. And if it looks nice to you, fine. But it's also good to understand why or where your logo is coming from, all the basics and all the intricate details that created your logo. Choose readability. You need to prioritize readability, make sure the font is easy to read, even when you reduce the size. A complicated font can confuse customers and definitely diminish your brand recognition. Reflect on your brand personality. Let it match your brand voice. The font should reflect your brand's personality. A luxury brand will definitely go for something elegant, while a startup will pick something that's modern, like straight and simple and common that we always use, sans serif. And you need to limit the font styles. So you have to pick 1 or 2 font styles to keep your logo clean and professional. When you use too many fonts, it can make the logo look cluttered. For Oze, we have our font style is DM Sans. That's what we use. And then I think we use Lato for our app. But that's the font that we have to use. I have to make sure it's consistent in all the designs we do in the company. And then we have to test different sizes. You have to check scalability. If your font is big, how it looks. If it's small, how it looks. If you put it on a billboard, only be clear for everyone to see. It should be legible in all formats. So next, we're going to talk about brand archetypes. This is pretty much like a guide to, I don't know if you know about personas, like marketing personas. This is like a persona for your brand. They are recognizable personas and characters that represent specific traits and values. It came from the psychologist Carl Jung, who believed that characters are part of our shared human experience. So by choosing an archetype for your brand, you can create a strong identity that speaks to the feelings and needs of your customers. Emotion. I don't know, but emotion is one of the biggest things for me when it comes to marketing. Whatever you're designing, whatever you are creating, always try and connect with your customers. So why do people use brand archetypes? Or why should you use a brand archetype? Clarity and consistency. When you know your brand archetype, it helps you to keep your messaging and visuals consistent across all platforms. There's also the emotional connection I spoke about just now. They tap into emotions. So it allows you to connect with your audience and build loyalty. There's also differentiation. When you have a clear brand archetype, you'll be able to make your brand stand out in a competitive market. So you help people remember you better. And a guided strategy. Like I said, the brand archetype, it doesn't mean that, oh, this is how my logo should always be. It's just a guide. So it will help you make better decisions in marketing, product development, customer service by aligning your strategies and your brand identity. So once you found your brand archetype, you can just look at like, okay, maybe I can try this, looking at my brand archetype. So it's a guide, okay? So I would just encourage all of us to try and get to know what brand archetype we have. There are 12. I know there are lots, but there's this quiz that we've created. So once you take it, you'll be able to know which one yours is. So we have the creator. They focus on creativity and innovation. We have the sage, which shares knowledge and wisdom, helping others find the truth. There's the caregiver that shows compassion and helping others. There's the innocent. They bring simplicity and positivity to the world. There's the ruler who values control and authority, aiming for respect. The outlaw, they are rebels. They try to challenge the norm and break the rules. They don't like to conform to the status quo. There's the hero who challenges bravery and inspires others. The jester who enjoys using humor and fun to entertain. the everyman, someone who's relatable and approachable, and they're always focusing on community. And the magician, they create moments of wonder and transformation. The explorer encourages adventure and discovery. And finally, the lover, they build deep emotional connections with others. So, as I said, if you find your brand archetype, you can change how you connect with your customers. You can craft messages and stories that will resonate with your audience and help you understand your customers more effectively. I'll share this slides with you after, so you'll definitely be able to take the quiz. I can also share the quiz link with everyone after. So this is the final topic we're going to be discussing. It's going to be 6 brand psychology persuasion principles. So if you think about this whole presentation has been on psychology, because when you're creating a brand, you're not just creating it for yourself. You need to understand you're dealing with humans. So because you're dealing with humans, you need to understand human psychology and how things work. Okay. So for the first principle, we have social proof. This is like customer stories, testimonials. People look to others when they are making decisions. I think this is one of the best marketing strategies you can ever have. Word of mouth. If someone used your product, they hired your service, and they had a good experience, for them to actually create a review for you, if someone sees it or their friend says, oh, let me try. Let me patronize this person because I heard good stuff about them. So social proof is one of the persuasion or even psychological principles you can use to get people to like your brand. Another thing is scarcity. When something seems limited, it becomes more valuable. If you're always, I'm not trying to say don't be, don't share, but sometimes you have to also try and not be too all over the place, be scarce at times. If you have a special offer or limited stock, let your customers know that, hey, only a few left. Sometimes some brands do it when there's a lot of stock, just to get people to buy quickly. There's something that's popular that's going, you want people to start buying a lot. You can use this psychological principle and you will definitely encourage them to act more quickly. Then there's reciprocity. When you give someone something, they feel inclined to give it back. So sometimes I know a lot of brands don't really do this, but I'll encourage you guys, sometimes give free samples. I know you may have to now maybe go and do, like, if you have packaging and you've done your packaging for all your products, try and do some for like samples so that people can try it. Or you see somebody, oh, try this product. When you give someone something, they feel like, and they enjoy it, they'll definitely buy it. So it's really helpful to do that, as well as providing them with tips. If you give someone, even going out of your way of giving them a tip I know that maybe, okay, let's say, for instance, I know someone can get something cheaper on the market. I've sold my item to them. I'm like, you know what? There's this other thing you can also pair with my products that you can get cheaper over here. I can send you the link. When you're very helpful, they'll definitely come back to you. Okay. Then there's consistency. People like people who stay true to commitments. Someone shows interest in your brand, please sign them up for a loyalty program. I don't know, not too big on email marketing and doing newsletters, but those of you that are, this is something you can do to stay in touch with your customers. Small actions lead to bigger commitments. I know a brand, I think it's J Classy. J Classy is always, so for consistency, I know, like I said, I know J Classy is always sharing his products on social media. And I think one of the most important things to do with consistency is try to get to know your customers. Okay. I think when you get to know them and you understand, like, you go an extra mile from just like, oh, I sold you a product, even if you even get data from them, right? And then, okay, this is their birthday this month. You can send them like a message that, oh, you get 20% off, So this is something you can do to just stay consistent and in touch with your customers. And then for 5 days, authority. Customers trust brands that show expertise. If you're a thought leader in a particular service or brand, you know about your product, you know it really well, and you can even create or share create content or share blogs to people about that particular brand or that service. So you'll be seen as an authority. People will be like, I trust you, you are credible, you know what you're talking about. You can't sell a product that you don't really know, okay, how it was made, So it's good to be an authority on whatever you are selling or what service you are doing. And finally, my favorite, emotional connection. People make decisions based on feelings. So you need to create a brand that resonates with your audience, values, and emotions. So you use relatable images, language, messages, and connect with them on a personal level. One thing I'll say that works really well for us in marketing is when we use or we create content that has people in there. When we just do text, people are not no one will even spend time looking at it. You do a video with people in there, or you put an emotion that someone can relate to in there. It sells more. Okay. So I will say that is it for now. I don't know if you guys have any questions. So I think we still have some time and for a small exercise. But before that, I'm wondering if you guys have any questions to move on to that.
Are we going to have a practical session? Like how
Yes, something practical. We're going to try and learn, see if we can implement some of the strategies we just read.
Thank you. I can't wait.
Okay, thank you. I wanted us to even try and design a logo, but it was going to be a bit more complicated. So we just have to do a brainstorming session after this. So I don't know if no more questions about what I went through. Any branding question. I also have my colleague Hachi, he's also on the marketing team, so he'll definitely help with any questions you have on branding.
Yeah, hello, madam.
Yes, please.
Yeah, this is Michael speaking. I want to find out the advantages of a good logo and how it affects customers emotionally. I didn't join early, so I don't know whether you've mentioned some of them already.
Yes, please, I did, but we can just go through it briefly so that you see, okay?
Okay, thank you.
So what makes a logo effective? This is not what we're looking for. We're looking for why you need a strong business logo. So we're talking about first impression. So your logo is the first thing, or one of the first things your people and someone sees about you. If you're selling a drink, definitely your logo will be on there. So if you have a logo and it's not something they'll remember, things grab people's attention. If something is nice, clean, or I've seen a logo, it says Oze, what is Oze? If people are able to see your logo and even are curious about it, that's one thing you're doing right. Instant recognition. Like I said, if you have a unique and you built a strong, unique logo, you're going to stand out from a lot of people or of your competitors in the market. I'll give you an example. We have a client that sent us their logo, and if I have to compare their logo to the other clients we're working with, it wasn't the best at all. We had to use them for certain marketing materials, and it's a very nice company, but their logo looks really outdated. If you see Oze, we did a rebrand, I think 2023. We're using another logo, but as times change, sometimes you can't change your logo. You can do the rebrand, but once we have this logo, I don't think we're going to be changing it for a while. But we kept the same name, just added like the square thing, didn't do anything crazy. So it's really important to have a good, strong logo. So people will, when they see your logo, they know it's you. Right now, if you see a Nike, the check mark, you know it's Nike. And I understand these businesses, they are like big businesses. So it's like, oh, it's only big businesses that get recognized. But if you start early, you definitely get there, because if I do it right now and in 5 years, I still have the same logo. When someone sees my logo, they know this is me. So I think it also helps people identify you as compared to someone's brand. If there are drinks here and I'm like, oh, I know this brand, I've seen this brand before. That's why it's really important to have a strong logo. Okay. So I hope I answered your question, Michael. Yes, please.
Yeah, this Fortune, please, can I come in?
Yes, please, Fortune, please do.
Okay. Madam, thank you very much for the opportunity, and God bless you for what you're doing.
Bless you too.
Yeah, my question is this. I once asked somebody to design a logo for me, and his comments was, it's too complicated. And I want to ask, can a logo be too complicated? And then the second question is that, can a logo be too complicated? And when designing a logo, should you think I want my logo to be simple?
Yes.
So I think that's my question.
Yes, please. If you have a complicated logo, I don't know if you meant complicated in terms of design or he was just giving you advice that look for something simple. If he's a graphic designer, he should be able to design, unless maybe he doesn't have that he doesn't have the capability to design something like that. So the other graphic designers who definitely will be able to help you. But if you're going for a logo, I would say that you should please pick a logo that is simple because less is more.
Okay. Because one of his comments was like, now those were his words. Everyone is doing a simple logo, and I was like, oh, I need things that I would like my logo to portray.
Okay. Do you know how you wanted the logo to look like, or you were asking him to design?
Yeah, it's a church logo.
Okay, a church logo.
So so I gave him the name of the church and what the church I want the church to be recognized with. And then he came out with a cross.
Okay.
And something like a radiant cross. And I was like, a cross for logo for a church is too common. That I wouldn't like to have that one. So I want something that portrays the essence, the meaning, that the work that the church will be doing, as I understand. And I gave him a Bible verse that I'm getting the name of the church from. In that Bible verse, the Bible verse talks about mountain. So I said, okay, if anything at all, I want the mountain to show. And then maybe in the mountain somewhere, a church building. And I was like, okay, so I want the something like the mountain we are going to be concentrating on soul winning. So anything that reflects soul, and the church stands at the mountain of the Lord or something like that. And he was like, he wanted something simple, and he was giving me the cross. So that's why I'm asking that question.
No. So when I say simple, I don't mean like, oh, just pick the most common. Sometimes the most common thing is you can even he could have used the cross, but the best thing he could have done was do something different about it. You wanted a mountain. That one is what the customer wants, what he needs to do, right? So the cross, I understand. He's not to call him, tell him, say he's been a bit lazy, but he was being a bit lazy because I don't think it's complicated. I think what you said, you wanted a cross and maybe the church on top, and then maybe the name of your church at the side. So definitely, I think this is just a matter of the type of graphic designer you went to. Okay. But yeah, I don't think what you had said was too complicated.
I think Fortune has gone off. There's Molly's hand is up, but then someone said wanted you to go over brand archetype again in the charts.
Okay.
So I mean, you can answer Molly's question, and then you can go over it again.
Okay.
Okay, this is Maori. Okay, so I just want to thank you. So I just want to contribute to the logo stuff, like logo being complicated stuff. So there are many times business or entities they want what they, for instance, there was one individual who wants a logo, and the person is into restaurant stuff.
Okay.
Sells banku and all those things. So they'll tell you that they want banku, those things to be in their logo, so that when people see, they know that this is what they sell. So these are like, they are individuals, like the owners, business owners. They don't really know what logo entails. You see, so there are many of them that try to tell you what things that are not really professionally what the things are. I don't know if you understand what I mean. So what I mean is that somebody, so this individual I'm saying, he operates restaurant, sells banku, rice and all those things. So he wants the logo to depict that he sells banku, wache, and all those things, and which might not do the thing. So I think most people need to like talk to professionals so that they can actually give them like the give them the professional advice on what the thing what logo is about and whatever that they want. There are some people who want flyer. Uh, then they are looking for everything should be on the flyer.
I know
So
what you mean.
yeah, I think to some may I feel like we Africans we are so much complicated over like this creative stuff.
Yeah, yeah, I
Yeah,
understand.
so basically that's what I want to also share regarding that. Thank
This
you.
is this is Molly. You're right. I think we want to make sure we put given as much information as possible, even on flyers. And when it comes to the logo, I mean, if you are going to do a logo and you want maybe something, you sell different types of food. If you only put, I mean, I'm looking at the Banku idea. If you do local food, I would think maybe a coal pot, something like a coal pot, so just to show to signify something local. Because if you want to be just known for Banku, I understand that you sell Banku and you want maybe a small earthenware bowl with, I don't know, you don't put Banku in earthenware bowl, but some people might. Let's say fufu, you put the fufu in the earthenware bowl, and then maybe you have around this maybe the name of your business. You can, and that's what you are just known for fufu, and forever you want to be known for fufu. That's okay to do that. But if you sell other things and you want people to come to your restaurants, I think maybe even a fork and a knife, something, So I think graphic designers that's design, they also have a lot of advice that they can give you. I don't think you should look at logo as, oh, I think this is nice, let me do it. Logo is something you need to actually sit down and plan, understand your market, understand who we are going to be selling to, and also speak to people that, oh, I want a logo. Like when you look at this logo, how does it make you feel? What do you think it is? Don't just pick a logo because, oh, I know that I'm doing something that has to do with nature, so I'll do green, which is not a bad thing, but let the logo have a meaning to it. If you want to do simple too, that's also fine. I think that really helps as well. Those who are able to do the simple, like Nike, they have, like I said, they have money and they've been able to put their marketing in. So anytime you see it, you know it's their logo. But if you want to do a crazy logo or with many colors and it's very like busy, I think you should have a lot of money to be able to push that. But if you want your logo to be memorable, I think less is more. So thank you so much for that, Mauli. I think someone had asked to go over brand archetypes. So as I was saying, brand archetypes is just like a guide to for you, so that when you are creating your brand, you look at. So I think maybe the reason why you're probably not, some of you might not really understand what I'm saying is because we don't have an example of what one would look like, what a brand archetype would look like. So you know what, please give me a second. Let me try and see if I can just share one with you so you see what I'm talking about. If you have any more questions too, please feel free to ask.
So Winnie, there's another question in the chat, right? I don't know if it's a question, but it says, please, when designing your logo, is it necessary to design it based on the product or service you offer?
It's not necessarily, you don't have, I think when you're designing a logo, it depends on you. If you want, it needs to be relevant in your industry. It doesn't necessarily have to be, okay, I sell bread, right? I want to make sure there's bread in my logo. It just has to be something that when people see, like I said, there's also emotions. There are a lot of things that go into a logo. The emotions, even the shapes you use, they mean something. So even if you don't want to even include, like for instance, Nike sells shoes, right? And they don't have any shoes in their logo. It's just the Nike. But they've made sure that they use a certain shape that's kind of resonates with the feeling of when you buy a Nike shoe. So there are different aspects to it. Okay, let me just share my screen.
Winnie, hold on. So, sorry. So Tony also sent in a message saying he's a graphic designer and can handle logo for the people in the session. And he also said, I think as a pro graphic designer, you have to go beyond what the client asks to do. My humble proposition.
Yes.
Someone is asking if you are Ghanaian.
Yes, please, I'm Ghanaian. Yes, please, I'm half fancy, half not.
Jehu wanted to know if you are Ghanaian.
Yes, please. Oh, I'm a Ghanaian. Thank you. So I just give you example of one archetype. This is called the rebel. So when you take the quiz, you'll be revealed. It will reveal, sorry, what brand archetype you have. So this is the rebel seen as an outlaw. I know the name rebel sounds like, oh, but trust me, it just means you don't conform to the status quo. You are someone who's a risk taker. You don't follow the rules. You want something very different. So when I talk about the brand archetype, it's like a guide or a persona for your brand, that I'm not someone that likes to stick to the same old things. An example can be Red Bull. Like Red Bull gives you wings. Red Bull is a bull. They have energy. Do you understand? So Red Bull is on the energy drinks is red, and it's a bull. So something like this it's not like if I'm doing a drink, who wants to associate a drink with an animal that is, if he sees red, because bulls, they don't like the color red. So when they see red, so this is something that is out of the normal. Like if you think about how a bull is, it's when as soon as it sees red, it's just aiming for the color red. So this is someone who is like a rebel. So I just feel like this, if you do the quiz and you discover your brand archetype, you can look at it and say, oh, wow, okay, maybe I can try this when it comes to my logo, even how I want to communicate with my audience. So it's just like a personality for your brand. I'm not saying that you have to, once you get your brand archetype, that means you must follow it. You can look at it and see, okay, maybe looking at the way I answered the questions, it's suggesting that this is the type of brand archetype I am. And you just consider and see, okay, the desire, revolution, disruption. They like to shake things up and do things differently. Their traits is they are disruptive. Therefore, when I say confrontation, I don't like they want to fight, but they are always in your face. Their fears are they don't want to be like everybody else. They don't like rules. So they are brands that are like this. Okay, they like to do things very different. So that's what we mean by brand archetypes. So I hope. Maybe if you take the quiz and you still have questions, please let me know. Okay, reach out to me. I think I'm in the WhatsApp group. So reach out to me from there and I'll definitely assist you. Okay. Thank you. Do we have any more questions, or we can just get started on the activity?
Yes, please, we are good.
Okay. So guys, we're going to do a small practice session or brainstorming session.
Sorry, I missed this one. So someone asked, how can I ensure my logo colors are accessible for users with color vision deficiency?
Hey, color vision deficiency. I think I'll have to do more research on that because I don't know. I think there's some colors that people who are colorblind can see, but I just feel like that kind of limits you. So if you are a brand that is the target market are people who are color deficient or colorblind, I think maybe you probably tend to choose the colors that they can see, so you aim for a logo that has those colors as well. So I think that's what I can suggest, but I do not know much about that, so I'll probably need to check and do some research on that. Okay, but thank you so much for the question. I even thought about it.
Okay, please. I want to ask that develop a short slogan that align with your brand values. Is it the same as the team for the logo that you are creating, or what?
Yes. So, for instance, let's say Oze, for instance, Oze, we're a business management app. We have bookkeeping, business, inventory management, and then you have an online storefront where you can sell stuff. Our slogan is "Do business better." So I'll give you an example of it. Okay. So this is the exercise. I'm going to put all of you in breakout rooms. You're going to work as a team. You're going to define your 3 to 5 keywords, brand identity words, something that defines your business. You choose a color that reflects your brand personality, and then you select a shape that reinforces your brand message. Then you develop a slogan that aligns with your brand. We have 15 minutes. If you need 5 extra minutes, we'll see if we have the time, but yes. And let me give you an example. So let's say this is a business. So the business was called Bright Mind. Sorry, Bright Mind. It's like a school, okay? And then the brand identity was knowledgeable, supportive, innovative, empowering. Those are the words that when you think about the brand, this is what they do, or what they how you can identify what personal or specific traits that they have as a brand. The color they chose to choose was yellow, because yellow represents optimism, creativity, enlightenment, and is perfect for a tutoring company that's focused on growth and education. The shape they chose was a triangle, so it symbolizes upward movement and progress. So it's reflecting on the idea of helping students achieve their success. And then the short slogan that they used was unlocking potential one lesson at a time. Okay, so what we're going to do is I'm going to break you guys out. We have a fashion brand designer. So as a fashion brand designer, what are the business identity keywords you have? You can choose a color that represents or reflects your business's personality, a shape, and then a slogan. And then for group 2, we have a construction company brand. Then group 3, a bakery brand. Group 4, a farmer's market brand. And then group 5, a kids event planner brand. Are we good to try it out?
Yeah, I think we are good to try. I don't know. That's for me.
In the meantime, there are also some questions. Please feel free to ask. Hi, everyone. We are back.
Hi.
All right. I hope everyone had an interesting time brainstorming. I'm going to be doing just small presentations of what we've done. My co-host, I just want to say a very big thank you for all the help. We'll start off with group 1, and we have our able embodied Cynthia, who's going to take us through. So Cynthia, please explain to us what we've done. Yes.
Okay. For group 1, we chose fashion designer brand, and our brand name was Label Clothing. The clothing we used Q because we wanted to stand out. We want people to see that our fashion sense, it's all over. And we use a purple color, which means luxury, beauty, and creativity. Because we choose nice colors when it comes to fashion design, because we have the sense, and then it can when you use purple at a very good weather day, you see that you shine all over. People will be looking at you. Where did you sew your dress and all that? And our business identity, we use authentic and classy. Our shape was circle, which represents unity, harmony, inclusiveness. Everybody can be in, and with the unity among us, we think together, we bring ideas together to create a design for the public. And then our slogan is elevate your everyday. So when you patronize our things, you are always on a comfortable lead.
That's right. Thank you so much. Everybody.
Can I add more?
Oh, you can. Do you have any more? But thank
No. The other group will be jealous.
Okay.
So when they finish, then we add more.
Okay, thank you so much. That was a great work. I was in group 1, so they did amazing. Thank you, guys.
Oh.
So can we move on to group 2? Sorry, group 2. Mikey, was that your group?
Yeah.
Oh.
No, we are group 2.
Okay, Isaac.
Yeah, so for us, we're doing something on construction.
Okay.
So we have to vote for begin by voting for the name of our company. So we had 2 names. Hazel proposed Mosia Dan, and then we had another one, which is City Constructs. Nice. So by acclamation, we got to choose City Constructs.
I like City Constructs.
And then for the keywords, we had durability. Since the construction company We had durability, to be firm, strong, innovative, to move with the trends of the time, reliability, to be available all the time, and then sustainability, just the continuity of our presence.
Great.
And then with the colors, we chose blue, purple,
Okay.
and then a little bit of white if necessary, but mostly we went for blue and purple. And for the shapes, we had to combine two shapes. So we had a rectangle, which is like mostly for the construction company, and then we put a triangle at the top for us to get to the building, and then a little bit of luxury when it comes to the design of our buildings or maybe the constructive work.
Yes. I think
And then
considered as like maybe an abstract shape. So yeah, that was great.
perfect. And so with the slogan, we went for grounded, firm, and deep.
Wow. That's a very powerful slogan. Wow.
Yeah, so
Hey. You guys are really creative. That's amazing. Thank you so much.
It was a very interactive group.
Oh, wow. Thank you so much, group 2. So can we have group 3?
Hello.
Hi, yes.
Hi. So group 3 was my group. I don't know if any of the guys would like to handle it. Joshua, McCarthy, Mauli.
Yeah,
Okay, McCarthy. Please go ahead.
Yes. Okay. So thank you. We worked on a bakery brand. So we had one of ours suggest a name for us. It's a brand that he said he started building, but he's still not done with. So I believe after this session, he would have a lot more ideas to continue building his brand. So the name is Begarosi.
Nice.
Spelled BERGEOS. And it's pronounced Begarosi.
Can you see my screen?
Pardon? Yes.
Can you see my screen?
Yes, I can see yours. Thank you very much.
McCarthy, you're on mute. Sorry.
Okay, thank you. I can see your screen. So the name, as I mentioned earlier, is Begarosi. And talking about the brand identity, especially the keywords, we started off by looking at, we didn't want to make it a big general. We wanted to limit it to the African setting, mainly Ghana, Nigeria setting. So first off, we went with Chop Life, and then we came up with Taste the Local Love. And then from there, we couldn't get any more local keywords to move with. So we started going to the foreign ones, which we can talk about, Satisfying, Freshness, and a few others.
Nice.
Now, coming to the color, we spoke mainly about two colors, or we arrived mainly on two colors. That is the earthly brown and then the yellow. The earthly brown mainly talks about the freshness of maybe freshly baked stuff. Like normally when we bake stuff, not freshly brown. And then the yellow also invokes a feeling of warmth and then taste.
Nice.
So that's why we settled on those two colors. And then for the shape of the logo, the originator of this idea came up with a picture of a beggar in a circle with the Begarosa written in the middle. That's what the originator came up with. He promised that a sketch that he said he'll bring soon. So we'll be waiting for that. And then we also came up with, since we are talking about a beggar brand, we know beggars are mostly stacked.
It looks like we lost McCarthy. Winnie, can you hear me?
No, he's back. He's back.
Okay.
McCarthy, please go on. If not, Mikey, tag team.
Yeah, so like you were saying, in terms of the shape, beggars are stacked. So the second option we came up with were like a picture of the beggar, like, or stacked layers, pretty much. So yes. And in terms of the slogan, we came up with a few. But we couldn't decide on which one to go with. So we decided to just note all down. So there's goodness in every bite. There's bite, smile, repeat. There's irresistible taste, and then bite into bliss. Yes, these are all kind of Yankeefied, but we would still think through it and find something that is a bit more localized. But for now, these were the slogans that we came up with.
Nice.
So thank you very much.
Oh, thank you so much, Team 3, Group 3. I think I like Bite, Smile, Repeats. I think that's what I like. So, guys, watch out for Begarosi, as he says is coming to us very soon. Last but not the least, Group 4.
Hello. Yes, I'm Patricia, and I'll take you through the group 4, what we did. So we came out with, we're supposed to work on a farmers market brand.
Mm-hmm.
And so we chose the name Farmers Market, and we came up with the brand identity, looking at keywords like pure, healthy, natural, fresh, and organic. And so we came out with the colors, since it's kind of related to farmers markets, fruits and vegetables. We came with the color green with supporting colors as blue and yellow. Noticing that our slogans, we came out with about 3 different slogans. I know we have to choose one, but this is what we had. Eat natural, eat healthy. Being natural is wealthy. And then you daily, yes. So it's just after this one, we would have to settle on one. Thank you.
Nice.
You're welcome very much.
Thank you so much, Patricia. That's amazing. I think I like being eating healthy is wealthy. I think that's what I like. I like that one too. Thank you guys so much. You guys are very, very creative. Wow. In a short span, someone will take like a whole week to come up with the stuff you guys have come up with. So you guys have done amazingly well. So please give yourselves a round of applause. Thank you so much for taking the time to even do this activity with us, all of us here, and I appreciate your time. I hope I've been able to share some small knowledge with you that you can use and implement on your branding journeys. So I just want to say a big thank you. I'm going to hand over to our host and my colleague Mikey to just talk to you briefly about what we also do here at Oze. I'll be sharing the slides and the recap of this session on our WhatsApp groups. I'll share the groups in the chat in case you'd like to join. We have one for Ghana and one for Nigeria, depending on which country you are in. A very big thank you. If you want to reach out to me about anything, please feel free on the group as well. All right.
Hello.
Mikey, over to you to just tell us a bit about Oze. Oh, Gabriel, did you have a question?
Hello.
Yes, Jeremy.
Yeah. Big Sam, I wanted to ask this. I've been in and out of the session, so I wanted to find out whether if it's possible to get maybe a recorded version of this session. Would that be possible?
Yes, please. We'll send you a recording of the session. Yes.
All right. Okay. All right. Thanks so much.
Thank you.
Unfortunately, we've come to the end of today's session. I hope everyone liked or enjoyed the session. I, for one, enjoyed the session. It was very, very interactive. We had the opportunity to... Okay, hi. Eunice wants to ask a question. Eunice, your hand is up. Eunice, you can unmute. Hello. Yes.
Please, I want to ask that aside the colors and shapes that we have been introduced to, can you step out of that zone?
Yes. So, they were abstract. There was a section that spoke about abstract shapes. You can definitely use shapes that are looking different, like curly. You don't have to stick to a simple triangle, a square, or a rectangle. Okay.
What of the color, please? Sorry? What about the colors?
Yes, so the colors, so pretty much it's not like a strict rule that, if I want something luxury, I have to use pep. It's just when you think about the color, so you can decide. I want to do something that I want something. So for instance, let's say Nike, the brand Nike, their logo is a check mark. They decided to just use a check mark that's going up, which is the triangle, right? It doesn't necessarily have to be a triangle, but it's a movement. It was even a line. I think we spoke about lines. So it's a movement going up which means things like if you understand what diagonal lines mean, it means like movement. So they decided to use that. You don't have to use all of them. You can pick a few principles and then apply it to your logo. So you don't have to pick every single color. You can pick one and like, okay, you know what? They're using the upward check mark. They're using black. Black. What does black signify? Color. They're using a very simple logo. Yeah.
Okay, please. Thank you.
Thank you. So Mikey. We have the Bergarosi logo in.
Yes, yes, in the chat. So please, Joshua has shared the Bergarosi logo. All right, please. There's another question, Patricia.
I have also noticed, yes, I have noticed that some brands don't usually use symbols. They just write the name of their brand in some kind of fonts, some unique fonts. So, what do you think about that? If I decide to run my company in a unique font and I use that as a logo, is it okay, or I still have to get a symbol?
No, that's fine. That's completely fine. You don't, so like, as I was saying, there are different elements you can use when you're creating a logo. You don't have to use a specific color. I have to use a shape. I have to use, obviously you can even just use like a symbol and that's your logo. Even if the only problem with the symbol that maybe people might not have a way to call it, so you probably have to add a name. But sometimes we can interchange because Oze, we have that round circle with the squiggly lines. If we don't want to write the Oze beside it, we just place that round circle on some of our content. And once people they keep seeing your logo, they'll understand that anytime they see that round thing, it's Oze. Nike too, they have their check mark. They don't use the text, right? They just use the symbol, but it's Nike because that become a home brand, like a home known brand as well. So you don't have to use a symbol, but at least you need to have a name. So at least the text is more, I would say, more important than just having a symbol. The symbol just makes it easier to recognize. If you put it on a bottle, you put it on, let's say, branding material. So you don't have to have the full logo. So it's just an extra option you can use. Hello, Patricia.
All right. Thank you. Thank you.
And I think we have a question for Valentine. Valentine says we haven't provided tools for creating such logos and explain between vector and pixel tools. Okay, so Valentine, I appreciate your question. Okay, but however, we're working with small businesses. Not every business that is they want to start doing graphic design. So we try to tailor this workshop for our small business owners, and we will suggest working with a professional graphic designer to help create those logos. However, we'll probably do another one on for graphic designers. Maybe you want to understand, but if you want to use certain tools, we have tools such as Adobe Photoshop and all that. Those are the tools Illustrator you can use to create such logos as well. Then there's also Canva. Canva can also help you create a logo. If you are very easy, I think there are logos that are even templates over there. You can go and look at over there and get some inspiration from there as well. So those are the tools that I would say you can use for the meantime. And if you want to go into depth with vector and pixel, that's a bit more technical. So we'll do that at another workshop, okay? But thank you so much for your question. So please, if you guys seen the groups, kindly join the groups. If you are not in there, I'll share the recap and the slides for you, and also the link to the quiz as well, the brand architect quiz. All right. So Mikey, please, over to you.
All right. All too soon, like I said, we've come to the end of today's session. I would like to say thank you to everyone for making time to join. Thank you for all the questions. Please mark today's dates on your calendars. Next month, we'll also be coming up with another interesting session. But before we go, I would like to talk about the Oze app. I believe some of you already are active users of the app. Some of you are new to the app. So if you are new to the app, or if you do not have the app, I would entreat you to go on Play Store or the App Store and download the Oze Business App. As a business owner, you should be keeping proper track or proper records of how your business is doing, and the only way you can do that is by using the Oze app, right? So by you keeping track, you would know which of your products or your services, or if a restaurant, the food that is in high demand against the ones that are not, and this would help you plan. That aside, you can use the app in keeping track of your inventory or your stock. That aside, again, we have the Oze shop which is a unique domain where you can advertise or list products that you currently have in your inventory and share this unique link with your customers. Your customers can go on there to place orders for the items or service that you have available. Winnie has shared the link in the chat. So for those of you that do not have the app, please do also download the app right after this session. And then the last and most important of all is we offer business loans. So as a business, there are times or there are seasons where we are cash tied because we have invested the money elsewhere and it's taking longer for us to get returns on the money that we've invested. So we help businesses with loans that they can use or invest back into their business. So I'm glad Fidel brought this up. So we have a training that you can have access to, and once you complete the training, you'd be given a voucher code to access our gold plan for 6 months. Winnie, am I correct? So if you are interested in the training, yes, if you are in any of the WhatsApp groups, just send a message in the group, and then would show you how to take the course. And then once you are done, you should receive a voucher code to access your plan. So Fidel, please, I'll reach out to you after the training and help you out. Okay. So all right, guys. I mean, it's 3 minutes past 1 in Ghana and 3 minutes past 2 in Nigeria. So thank you so much, guys. Do have a wonderful day, and we'll see you again next month for another session. Goodbye.
Thank you. Bye, everyone.